the Mass Pirates took on the Bay Area Panthers and had a nice 7-point victory. And who we have in the building today with us on your roster, number 52, number 1 in your hearts, but Ezekiel Rose here joining us, D Lineman from the Mass Pirates. Glad to have you in, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Man, I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me on the show.
It's great to have you. And if you didn't know, or you're like, hold on, that name sounds a little familiar. You do have familiarity there if you are a Netflix subscriber. We have an EMCC alum with us.
I didn't really. Oh. I almost just broke the FCC regulation.
A Buddy Stevens product. But we'll get to that as well.
Oh, dude, we can make this a 30-minute segment now.
We learn about Zeke. So you're a second-year player with us here, and obviously we'll start off with the game. So the biggest play that I think that came down to the game, it was back and forth. You went to the halftime down 8. Came out. We'll talk about a little defensive strategy, but obviously 7-point win. It was a minute left here, right before the minute warning. You had a big third down stop that forced a longer 4th and 1. Give us what was the recap for you on that game? What was the defensive mindset coming in, and then what was the adjustments that you guys kind of made in the second half to really tighten up from where you kind of were in the first?
Well, we were
in the first half. Sorry.
Yeah, in the first half, I feel we were very much unfocused.
Mm-hmm.
We came out as a defense. We were kind of flat on certain drives. We couldn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
So in the locker room, it wasn't too many like adjustments we made. It wasn't too many like, all right, you do this, you do that. It was one switch up, and everybody else was like, listen,
mm-hmm.
either you're gonna play hard or you're not gonna come on the field. And we all like abided by that. Like when we went out on the field, everybody played hard. We tried to like. When we were out there, everybody was like, look, you got this, play your play, and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And when they got down to that play, like that 3rd and 1, it was just like everybody was where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And like it made it happen.
I mean, it was a big boy play for you.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
big boy play for you. Then obviously led into the fourth down play. Linebacker shot the gap. Obviously, it was in the story there.
Can I just ask, though, like you said, like if you don't play hard, you don't get on the field. Was that like the message from the coaches, or is that the players?
Oh, no, we talked to each other like that. Like the coaches walked out. We're like, hey, y'all better lock. Yeah.
Bill was at our second FTC fine. No, you're good.
But yeah,
nice catch. I'll give you that.
Appreciate it. But we're like, man, you got to lock in, or like we not gonna walk out of here 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
So for this team, who are the leaders right now, kind of starting that or bringing that voice to the players?
Right now, all I'm saying, like Dro, quarterback, Amp, like real vocally.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are definitely a voice that you'll hear on a regular basis, and like it's not like those are just guys that just talk it. Like they walk it too, so you gotta respect it. Like, and if you don't, you'll have more guys against you than that'll be with you. You know?
So even with him injured, he's still one of those lead voices?
Oh yeah, he's the same person everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you talk to him out on the street, he's the same Dro that you see on the field.
Yeah, he's
got a cannon.
He's an unsupervised alum. He was graced our airwaves a few years back. Great personality. You can see the leadership qualities, leadership characteristics. So you're in your second year here with the team, and last year and coming in, you're the target's on your back.
Oh, yeah.
You're the defending champ. Obviously, early exit. Didn't go kind of as planned when it goes for the playoffs. So what's the mentality this year? What were you guys kind of saying coming into, through preseason, through training camp, to kind of set the tone to get that championship? Because, when you talk about Worcester, it's championships here. We had North High School state championship for the first time. Y'all were state, I was about to say champ, but y'all were IFL champs. So what's the mindset to try and get back to that defensive prowess, and then, just make that stamp on the league again?
Well, the main thing is having the chip on our shoulder, man. We got to come out with some swag, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people talk about focus, and my thing with focus is either you got flashlight focus or you got a laser beam focus.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to come out with that laser beam, everybody focus on the same thing. And, like, some people come, people go, but no matter who comes in, they gotta fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where I was at when I was in Winnipeg, it was called FIFO, fit in or F off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to like make that happen like everywhere I go. And it's honestly a good thing to have for real.
What's the competition like right now? Because last year when we saw Green Bay, I say we, so apologies. I feel I've been watching, I've been supporting. But so when I saw Green Bay on the schedule, I'm like, man, that's a little bit of an easy dub. First game this year though, tougher game. Bay Area, y'all went out West Coast last year. It was, I want to say, a very easy dub on that West Coast trip. And then it seems like the bar has gotten a little bit closer in the town out there. So what are you seeing? What's the scouting report coming back from these teams? Because it seems like either, they've made some good solid moves in the offseason, but it seems like people are trying to get closer to the talent that the Mass Pirates have had.
So I feel like a lot of the guys, like everyone's working, everyone's doing their thing in the off season. But like when it comes to playing the Mass Pirates, people bring their best game.
Yeah.
I feel like they come out like, yo, this would probably be it. Like, this is our championship game type thing.
So it's not, it's not fair. I mean, you guys are putting up ridiculous numbers on defense for 2 years straight.
Oh yeah, true.
You guys give up like 25 points in an arena football game average. So I mean, that's almost impossible when you think about the numbers to keep up.
Yeah, my first game last year was Bay Area, actually, when we went out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out there my first game, led the team in tackles and everything, and I had a good time. But like I guess they weren't expecting me to come out big pink brace on. They're like, this goofy looking dude. I was like 340 at the time. Like, I was heavy. I'm running around. They're like, this big, huh? You know what I'm saying? But no, it was different. The competition is definitely different now. We can see that people are actually like trying to play up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we can see that, and we got to acknowledge it. We got to respect our opponent, but we definitely come out expecting to win every time.
Because Joe, sorry if I'm taking. I'll pass it over. Because it seems like the cream of the crop. It was Frisco, the Rattlers, and then the Mass Pirates. And so, it's tough having that target on your back and knowing that, you guys can't take a play off. That's why I love to hear when you're saying, hey, if you're not playing hard, don't expect to come out on the field. You're not gonna be able to contribute if you're not giving, 110% out here. So what was the feeling in the locker room after that game? You close it out on defense. You made a transition, you gave up 38 in the first half, and then obviously defensively won in the second half. So what did everybody say coming off the field? You're 2-0. Now you have a 2-game stretch out on the road.
So the first thing is we came off, we were like, it's way easier to evaluate film.
The film room was a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but like looking back at it, it was more of a, we had to make something happen. Like on the sideline, we had Jawad like talking to us the whole time, like defense, like offense doing what they supposed to do. We need y'all to step up. Who gonna make the play? So after I got that fumble, he was like, this is where it starts.
Was there a duffel bag in your locker after when you got the fumble?
I wish. And then why would have dropped me off that duffel?
Hey, don't air it out to the feds. Come on now.
I would never.
What you talking about?
I would never.
There's no such thing as a duffel bag.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, for real though. But it was, I don't know. It was just a different atmosphere. Like the guys came in, we weren't flat at halftime, but at the same time, we weren't just energized.
Right.
And we walked back out on the field, and we knew what we had to do as a defense. You know what I'm saying? It showed.
Well, I mean, you're going to Frisco on Saturday night, and like Taylor said earlier, I mean, they're one of the premier teams. I guess maybe premier is a little too high, but what are you looking at Frisco coming on Saturday?
So with Frisco,
well, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
So going out there, I'm looking for a hostile environment. Something I'm kind of used to. It's all right. But like as far as the team goes, I know a couple of the guys that play there, and they're definitely some guys that you would want on your team. You wouldn't like playing against, but you would love to play with type deal. But I feel like it's gonna be a hard-fought game. Whoever's focused the most, whoever wanted the most.
Right.
I expect to come out with the dub. You know what I'm saying? Like every week, like it's not impossible.
It's not. I mean, 2 years ago, I guess you're gonna say 3 years ago, undefeated. Sorry.
They missed one.
One loss. Yeah, one loss all the way through the season. So it's not hard to start stringing along, especially when you guys get that mojo.
Now, is Frisco one of the most hostile environments in the IFL? I mean, that was one of the first things you brought up.
So, I actually used to live down in that area, and like living there is cool, but once it comes to sports, like I've been to a couple of different, like I haven't went to a Frisco's Fighters game, but I went to a lot of like baseball games around there, like even high school, and it's like we're their fans, and you gonna know it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those interactions. I'll say.
So you dropped a little bit earlier. So if folks, if you don't know, you're Mississippi.
Yeah, Clarksdale.
From Clarkdale, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then you had an interesting journey from, in college as well as professionally. So, you go to EMCC. Got a ton of questions there. From EMCC, you go to West Virginia. West Virginia, you are a Grey Cup champion.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And so then you make the transition to the inside. So let me ask, because when people say EMCC and you're like, oh, the Netflix, just tell what was that experience? What was the experience like there?
Were you the first year it was, or the
First.
You were right. So you were the first one they ever did.
Yeah, first and second year.
Oh,
Yeah, they got there as soon as I came. Like I got there in May,
Yeah,
and they came like 2 weeks after I got there.
yeah.
We had to sign waivers and everything, man. They didn't want to pay us.
So you-
Wait, y'all didn't get paid, or it was just off of marketing that you
Yeah.
do after that?
Yeah, again, like if they didn't, like if we wouldn't have signed the waiver, they wouldn't have showed our face. Like they would have blurred our face out. This is what they told us.
Oh,
Yeah.
So did
but Buddy definitely got.
Buddy definitely got yeah.
Oh, I don't know what he did, man. I can't speak on what he did.
That's it.
What was it? No, what was it like playing for Buddy? Because if folks don't know, I mean, football in the South. I played in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
So football in the South, it's different. It's how a lot of folks view professional football, professional sports up here. But coaches, especially in football, it's hard-nosed, old-school style type of training, type of expectation. So what was it how was it like being under Buddy Stevens?
So me personally, I'm one of the guys that, like, I'll take what you say, not how you're saying it to me.
Mhm.
So, like, I know emotions flow.
Right.
So, like, once you get upset and whatnot, and you say what you feel, like, me personally, I'm like, all right, get it off your chest. But, like, if it's a good message, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
So, some of the time they'll see him on TV and he's cursing at us and whatnot. They're like, you shouldn't curse at the. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all grown. We can talk like, we curse
can,
back
yeah,
at him.
right.
Like, why can't he curse at us?
Right.
And then it had him feeling like self-conscious on TV and whatnot. I feel like it changed him a little bit for the better, but at the same time,
Do you think it took a little bit away from him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because he was winning. He was winning doing it one way.
Yeah.
Now maybe you don't like that way, but that's how he got the numbers. That's how he was able to produce.
Yeah.
And then you kind of open the door a little bit, and then you see behind the curtain how he does it. The method of the madness. He's not the same.
And that's the thing. Like, it's some people that didn't like him, and some people that was like indifferent about him. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We're here for a reason. He tried to get his job done. We need to get our job done. Like that's how I saw it. It was a
Right, just get in, get out. Right.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants there. Right?
Yeah. So in my mind, it was like, do what you gotta do to help us get out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you've been getting people out of here for so long.
Right.
It wasn't that I didn't like him, nothing like that. Like I got mad love for Buddy Stevens. He said he did what he said he was gonna do.
Right.
Because I was gonna go to Alcorn out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted me to come play receiver, and then like
Get out.
yeah, no, I'm so serious. And then
How big were you coming out of high school?
6'3", like 215.
Ooh, yeah, you would have been a big ass receiver. Excuse me.
I think
okay with that.
I think that's good. We're good with that. We're good. That was in the Bible.
It's fine. That was fine. Yeah, you would have been a big receiver though.
No, and Buddy Stevens, him and Coach Davin Williams, they came up to me. They were like, "You gonna grow a lot, and you gonna make your money on the D line."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, no, I don't see it, but I'm gonna trust you."
Yeah.
And I went out there my first summer out there. I went from like 215 to like 245,
Wow.
and I was like, "Oh yeah."
So was the program essentially one? Because you got to make sure you always got a pencil on you. If you don't,
Oh yeah, you gotta have your pencil.
Gotta
man.
have your pencil.
Shout out to Brittany. Yeah, shout out.
Gotta have
your pencil.
But when it comes to nutrition, obviously the weight room and the weight program is tops in the country. So was the nutrition there as well? Was it a meal plan? How were you able to, put on that weight, the way that you did?
So it was a discipline thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go into the calf and they'll have like pizza and wings and all the good stuff, and then a salad bar. And I'm just like, I know what I gotta do. Yeah. And I'm like staring at the wings, but getting the salad.
Yeah.
But like that was like probably like 3 times out of the week where I really have to make that decision. Other times it was like they'll have some help, like they'll have pasta or something in there, or something I could eat that'll help me out. And I talked to Jordan Leslie. He was my defensive coordinator at the time. He actually went to West Virginia right after I graduated. That would have been crazy doing the freshman and the senior year.
That would have been.
But yeah, no, he wasn't really like, he was our strength and conditioning coach too, but he wasn't really like, all right, you got to eat this, you got to eat that. But he was like, if you want your body to change, you know what you got to do. So that was a big part of it too. Like,
So for, at EMCC, that's kind of what it was. They were like, listen, this is what you got to do. Like, we can sit here and yell at you all day to do it, but if you're not going to do it, we'll just move on. Like, you'll just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of picked that up from the show, and that's why, it's cool to see. And obviously it translates over like you were, in the locker room and expressing like, hey, we need to get the best out of everybody in this room, and being able to reiterate that and then tap into that. And so that allowed you to go from EMCC to West Virginia, and you were under Dana.
No, yeah, that's my guy.
So one, I feel like that's polar opposites from Buddy Stevens to Dana Holgerson. Oh my God, Holgerson.
I just want to talk about going from Mississippi to West Virginia. That was
that was a culture shock.
But Morgantown's kind of the same way, just a little bit. But it's a good town though. It's actually it's a city.
I think it would be a hell of a time. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
I was I had the pleasure of playing in Millen Pusker. And it was when y'all had Tavon.
Oh God,
Tavon. Yeah, I graduated in 2014, so I played at Connecticut, and we were down like 25.
Nothing crazy, just 25.
But the thing that I love about y'all's crowd, and especially the PA system, they started playing like "It's a Party" by Waka Flocka.
Oh God,
and I'm thinking, oh, I love this song, and I'm like, all right. And then my buddy would like tap me, and he was like, no, they're playing it because they're stomping.
Oh yeah, true. No,
it's a party.
Oh yeah.
So how was that transition? Obviously it's a competition leap from just overall talent on the field, and not just specific areas that you might have when it comes to being in JUCO. So what was that? Was there kind of an adjustment, or you just walked in like
distractions alone on that?
Distraction was a major part, but like, moving up, you always expect the competition change.
Mm-hmm.
So coming from high school to JUCO, I was like, man, let's see if I can, if I can keep up with these guys. I get there and I'm like, oh, I'm better than most of them, in my head, That's how I feel a lot of the time when I go there. When I go anywhere, I'm like, yo, I can definitely be better than a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. It's just how I feel about me. And got to MCC, was under a guy Deshaun Tillman. That's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he showed me a lot. It wasn't like, I'm better than you, you gonna play under me. He was like, listen, if you do this and do that, it'll definitely help you out with your game. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you from experience.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then I moved from EMCC to West Virginia. That was a bigger change, but it was the same thing though. It was, it was a culture shock, one, and it was a talent. It was a talent thing too.
Yeah.
So I left EMCC. It was a lot of talent there. I seen a lot of guys that played really well.
Right.
Went to a lot of big schools. And then I went to West Virginia, and I seen like everybody was the guy where they were from. You know what I'm saying? So people that came out of high school that was like 4 and 5 star.
Right.
And were like
every day is a grind.
Oh yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So like it really upped the ante. It really made me less of a talker and more of a doer.
Mm.
So like it was a lot of guys out there like, man, I do this. I'm like, all right, show me.
Yeah, show me in practice field. Like film, the eye of the sky doesned lie.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite line.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to go out there and do my thing. I came off the sideline my junior year, led the team in sacks, man. I had a good time. I didn't really party like that. I wasn't a go-out guy. I'm going to sit at home. I'm going to play the game, invite a few people over every now and then.
Until St. Patty's Day weekend.
Nope, didn't go out. I went to
I heard it gets wild.
It's crazy.
I can imagine.
So it's a spot behind the mountain lair. That's what like the Union, what everybody else calls it. It's called the Green. It's like a big turf field back there. That'll be packed. It's a cobblestone street. Like it literally starts at the bottom of way more street on this side.
Yeah.
It starts at the bottom of the hill, cobblestone, all the way up, frat row. Day parties. We partied at least like 6 days out the week.
God,
yeah,
West Virginia, it's different. If I went there, right, and I was like, hey mom, like I'm gonna get my journalism degree. I want to go to West Virginia. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I might get to go, but I'm not going there because I really want to get the best journalism degree. No.
It was a great school. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can.
But
just know what it is.
Yeah, if you were really focused, oh yeah, you good. If you're not,
Yeah,
I'll see you back at home.
and I don't know. I don't know if I would have made it. There would have been a question mark on that one.
Well, you get prepped for when you're there because it's big time ball being in the Big 12 and it's different. And especially from the jump from Big East into the Big
A
12.
lot of overs hit.
It is a lot of overs hitting in the Big 12. So can you talk to that a little bit of the mantra when you talk about the Big 12 is there's no defense being played. So you've had obviously a front row seat to that. Not saying that y'all were bad defensively, but you might see some 52 points, some basketball scores out on the field. Why is that, do you think, when it comes to the Big 12 historically? I mean, from what you saw in your couple of years that you were there.
So I say in the Big 12, it's a lot of skill player. It's skill player based.
Yeah.
So like the lineman, we like it starts up front.
Right.
But like the quarterback can go against 3-step drop and sling it to a hitch.
Yeah.
You will find a 5'7", 185 receiver that run like a 4.3. Like Hollywood Brown. Like how do you know what I'm saying? We got Hollywood Brown, we got CeeDee Lamb, Kyler Murray back here.
That was a tough.
Like what?
Did y'all go to Oklahoma?
No, they came to us. It was my senior year.
Yeah.
And they like the offense actually didn't even like it wasn't as explosive as I was expecting.
Yeah.
We actually kind of gave that game away. We lost by 3, but like as a whole, we gave up 14 on offense. Like not blaming nobody. I'm not one of those people. But like we gave up 14 on offense. You know what I'm saying? Just being lazy with the ball.
Yeah.
So like
can't you gotta win the tournament.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it happened how it's supposed to happen though. You know what I'm saying? I can't go back and change it. So that happens. I gotta live with that. But like just seeing that type of offense, like the offensive line, very athletic offensive line. They had a nice running back.
Yeah.
Like 3 out of their 4 starting receivers were like
the guy.
Yeah, they were like that.
They're him.
Like you watch a film, you're like, all right, you got to watch him and him and him.
Is it a little bit of a relief from the D lines? So as a corner, we know what we have to do. We're the last line of defense. But when you go into the meeting room and it's Monday and you guys are going up against Kyler, you're going up against CD, you're going up against Hollywood, is it a little bit of a relief where you're like, all right, I know we can contain whoever is the running back. I don't have to worry about the outside. Like, is it like, all right, all the responsibilities on the outside, on our secondary? What's your thought process there when you're like, my impact is a little bit minimal. I need to get to the quarterback, obviously, but on the outside, we have to win our one-on-one matchups.
So that was always there. Like, yeah, everybody win y'all one-on-one. I know you ain't gonna win them all the time, but win most of the time.
Yeah.
So specific like games like that where we knew we had some offensive threats.
Right.
We're definitely like, yo, D-line, we gotta work because if we work, they gotta work less.
Right. Because if you get home, that's less time covering.
How you gonna? You're not finna cover CeeDee Lamb
for more than 3 seconds.
More, so like 4 or 5 seconds at a time. Yeah, get them boys time to scramble and move. They are very elusive.
Yeah.
And like our DBs were great DBs. It's just
those guys are in the NFL. They're at the next level putting up numbers. I mean, I can't imagine just at 12.
It was definitely different. Like just seeing that firsthand.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was not in the locker room, in the film room. It was definitely like, yeah, these guys are nice, but y'all like we had a 3-man front, so it was like y'all 3 need to beat them 5, and I'm like,
you're getting doubled. You're tired.
I'm getting doubled the whole game.
You're tired
the whole game.
So, what was the speed comparison like in your opinion? Once when you compare it to getting to the CFL, obviously wider field. But the true speed, I think, is the difference in the NFL because NFL, you're still at 52 or whatever, 52 width. But in CFL, true speed can still come out, so it's similar to being in college. So, were you like, I played against this already, or was it like, oh, there's still a little bit of a jump here, even though it's more the mixture of Canadian and American players, the CFL.
So, in the CFL, I kid you not. It's basically the same thing as the NFL, just a bigger field. That's all. Talent, basically the same. Like some of the guys in the CFL could go to the NFL and start.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like it's guys there that like should not be over there.
Yeah.
Just got overlooked or something like that. Like when I played there, I had to get used to being a yard off the ball.
Yep.
Like that was different for me, but like I still had my speed.
Yeah.
Like I was like 317, but I was on kickoff running down. Like, yeah. So
I almost pissed myself.
no, for real, that was my first and last game in the CFL. I ran down on kickoff against Saskatchewan. Tore my ACL, man. That took me out.
That's at Saskatchewan, or
That's sad.
that's always tough. And so, I mean, I guess that when you being able to bounce back, it speaks to one, your journey that you've gone through, the mental toughness that you have to have, because when you're rehabbing, the love that you get when you're an active player, it goes away.
Oh yeah,
because it's a what can you do for me right now type of world. So when it comes to people, messaging you on your Instagram or your Twitter, it goes quiet because you're hurt. So that same support is different, and it's not as consistent as you would have it when you're active. So like, kudos to you. You bounce back. Obviously, right now you're in your second year at the Pirates, and you're continuing to crush it and kill. You guys are 2-0. But I think that the mental fortitude that you've gone through your entire journey is amazing. So I just want to give you kudos for that. You always just give you appreciation.
Make that two of us, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the flowers, man.
We're still here.
I'll bring the beers.
We're gonna go to a quick break, but when we come back, we got more unsupervised sports here at Unity Radio, WTY 97.9 FM. This is Worcester's Community Connection.